My name is Wee Park. I'm from South Korea. I am YouTuber in Korea.
I saw your YouTube channel.
Really?
Yep.
It's a strange kind of phase when you let go. Let your life flow like a river.
Say hello to our subscribers.
Hello everybody, my name's Alex. I just ran into these guys, so it's great to meet you guys.
Hey, how you doing?
What is your name?
Eugene.
Eugene?
Hey.
Hey, hello, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Ellie.
We live in Boston, Massachusetts.
Hannah.
Hannah?
Yes.
So you're from?
I'm from Wisconsin. I just moved here to Maryland 2 months ago.
Ah, so you work in Maryland?
Yep.
Oh,
yep, the
I
Silver
see.
Spring area.
How long have you been living in the US?
I was born in the US, born in the state of Maine, which is in the far northeast. I lived in Korea for a long time, for 10 years actually.
I've been living here for 6 years.
6 years, okay.
And I've been here 22 years.
Oh, okay.
A long time.
We've been here our life.
Whole life.
Yeah.
All my life, so 24 years.
I've been here for 25 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For a long time?
For a long time.
Okay.
And I've been here for almost a year.
How often do you see people on the wheelchair?
Maybe once a month, I would say.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day? Okay.
Honestly, not too often. I think especially growing up in Wisconsin, like it's a lot of small town, farm, like family. I feel like I don't see it very often.
Very often, I would say.
Oh, really?
It's become such a norm. I feel like that we don't really, we live every day not pointing out like, oh, that person's in a wheelchair or that person's disabled or that person's, they're just part of society. And we just, we do our best to kind of like live together and help each other out regardless of our, level of like difficulty or lack of. Yeah.
The units as a whole, do they make it easier for people with disabilities?
Oh,
No.
good Lord, no.
They feel like if they do just a little, it's enough.
It's enough.
I mean, I think most people are, in America, everybody's very open to that, right? And I think Koreans would be the same as well. It's just something that, people care about each other, right? I don't think anybody would think very negatively of that. But I will say, like, the other day I was driving and it was just a school bus. And it was taking an inordinately long amount of time for whoever to get off. I will say I started to get a little bit frustrated, but then I realized, oh, it's a kid in a wheelchair, so it's taking a very long time. It's not going to get angry, I don't think. If you were to do that in America, you would be immediately publicly shamed, and rightly so.
I think, the whole point of public transportation is to satisfy the needs of everyone. The reason why people use public transportation is definitely not for time, because it's usually not the most optimal way to save time. It's more for either ecological reasons or financial reasons. So I think people waiting a couple more minutes for someone with a wheelchair to access public transport is not going to affect people's life. Like, it shouldn't be something that we debate. It should be there, and everyone should follow the whatever timing that needs for that person to access the wheelchair. I agree.
To
access the bus or the metro, etc. I agree. Yeah. I think it's important to kind of, and it shows like basic human decency. Like, I think it's just important to spare a couple of seconds just to get everyone on the bus or off the train or whatever the case may be. No reason to separate. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's fine. I mean, personally, it's for me, if I see a bus descending in order to have someone come up with a wheelchair or with crutches, or because it's the same thing when people have bicycles and we have to wait a couple seconds to have the bicycle attached to the front of the bus. Like, it's very normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have actually noticed, like specifically in DC, I feel like having a wheelchair on the metro would be very difficult. The elevators are like always far at one end, and then also sometimes there's like a gap or like a bump to actually get into the metro. And then oftentimes like the metro stops in the city are very packed. So I'm sure the metro specifically is difficult.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
How about your hometown?
In Wisconsin, like we don't really have a lot of public transportation.
Okay.
But I feel like as far as ramps at buildings and elevators, like I think it's pretty good. And there's a lot less people too, so it's just easy to move around.
I have to say people are pretty respectful and understanding of that.
Understanding is what I would say.
So normally you make space for the people to go with a wheelchair first, and then it's the same thing when they exit the elevator. You wait until they have exited, and then you follow afterwards.
So that's the culture, right?
That's the culture, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Korea, it's not always like that, right?
Yeah, right. Can
And
you remember the Korean stops?
there is wheelchair accessibility in Korea, but it's just not as accessible. If you're going around on a public bus, there's not really a spot for like a wheelchair.
죄송한데 여기 휠체어를 잠시만. 네, 거기 앉을 수 휠체어 지정석입니다. 기사님 잠시만요. 이 휠체어 위험합니다.
But there is in American cities, although we have a lot less public transport, there's always a spot for a wheelchair.
I would say understanding is what I'm thinking of, that it's not really an issue or a problem. It's people make it work by being respectful, and as you say, it takes a little bit of time extra, but it works. Yeah.
Okay, I think the most important thing is understanding each other.
Absolutely.
Diversity.
Exactly.
For
sure. From a personal experience, I have friends with wheelchair in Morocco and friends with wheelchair in France. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's easier to go out on a Saturday night with people, with my friends in France than with my friends in Morocco, because in Morocco we have to adjust the plan. We cannot just go to a bar to have a drink, or to go to a coffee shop, or to go to a restaurant easily. So we usually make more adjustments to be with those people we love. As in France, for example, it was way easier, and it's not even something we think about. It's there.
It's embedded.
Everyone is like everyone else. And I think in the US it's like that. But I think in the US it's very different, because the US is huge. It's bigger than countries in Europe. And I think in DC, like bike lanes, it started to be implemented as the needs for accessibility for people with wheelchair, other than like other states, for example, I think Texas or
Idaho.
Can I ask you, how do you feel about getting around the city?
Honestly, quite good.
Yeah?
Because I can access anywhere,
Okay.
especially restaurant and convenience store, cafes. The most interesting thing is they have all restroom for wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
So that's the big point for me.
Yeah.
Because in Korea, we don't have any restrooms for wheelchair users.
Really?
Yeah, not many, not
Okay.
much. I'm very happy to see these things in the
Yeah,
US.
I feel like a lot of the federal buildings and the museums are probably pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about like working your way around the metro?
Honestly, metro was little bit difficult for me. They have not safety stops for me.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to grab on bars,
Uh-huh.
so it was little bit nervous for me. But yeah, not bad. The bus was good. Uber is great
Yeah.
for me. They always help me. I feel very comfortable.
Good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for interviewing.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for interviewing.
왔습니다.
Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you, you as well.
And now you have to come to Morocco and try Moroccan food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to come Korea.
We would love to. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can say 감사합니다 is like thank you.
Kamsa?
감사합니다.
Kamsahamnida.
Yeah.
And in Arabic we say shukran.
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 Okay.
You got it.
Okay.